Hello, and welcome back again. This is Mariette Abrams. Welcome to my channel. For this first video, I really wanted to give you a little bit of background about my story. And I get asked a lot about how I ended up, where I ended up. And so I thought I'd just give you a little background so you get to know me a little bit better. And really my story starts that I was born in South Africa, in one of the cities. And at the tender age of 4, we left South Africa because of the very, very cruel apartheid regime in South Africa at the time. And so my father ended up getting scholarship to Germany and the Netherlands. So really my whole childhood was spent in Europe. And so we were refugees. I mean, I didn't really know what that was at the time because I just remember always asking my father, what do you do? What do you actually do? And so my father was actually studying at that time. So at the age of 12, we moved back to South Africa, and at that time there was a lot of protests against the regime, a lot of violence. So we really went from very calm, tranquil, normal upbringing and surroundings and childhood in the Netherlands to going into this really, really segregated living, segregated schools, segregated sports, and everything was really, really in turmoil at the time. And throw in the start of puberty as well, it really wasn't an easy situation. However, I always knew that education would be my ticket out of any situation. So I was always very studious, but I was always very active as well, so playing volleyball, doing swimming, playing music, and I always knew that my interest would lie somewhere within the healthy arena. So at high school, one of the teachers advised me to say, hey, listen, you are really quite interested in science and you are really quite health conscious. Nutrition dietetics might be a career for you. So I ended up at Stellenbosch University, studied my bachelor's in dietetics, which is brilliant, and I ended up getting my first job in Johannesburg, not in Johannesburg, in Grahamstown at the food service company. It was really the only job at the time, and I really, really didn't like it, but it gave me a lot of good skills in terms of communication, management, organization. So it did help me. I then moved to Johannesburg, stayed there for about a year and a half, and then I got itching again to move back to Europe. And so I ended up going to the UK, getting a clinical job in the hospital setting, which I absolutely loved, because that helped me really to develop my clinical skills. It helped me to see all different kinds of clinical situations, deal with kind of diet therapy in all different kinds of situations, and that really helped my skills also in terms of team building, clinical presentations, writing guidelines, so many things. But I always knew at the back of my mind that I probably wouldn't do it forever. So when I think I was kind of in my second year of clinical therapy, I started on my MBA journey, and I decided on an MBA because I wanted to diversify my skills, and I didn't want to go the traditional route of just going master's, PhD in a specific area. I really wanted to diversify and really wanted to be absolutely sure that if I do a PhD, that's really, really, really what I wanted to do. So I ended up doing an MBA part-time while I was working, and it was absolutely amazing because it gives you so many skills. It gives you a different way of thinking, really, that now really sets me apart from people who haven't done a business degree. So, so I think that was really, really quite useful. And then I left my clinical job and went into the medical nutrition industry, worked for a big company as a medical affairs dietitian. And that also, once again, was really an interesting experience for me. It was different. It was an industry completely different from the public industry, and a different way of thinking, but the MBA came in really handy at the time. After that, I moved here to Portugal with my family, and I thought, okay, I still want to work. I still want to work on my career. What else can I add to my toolbox of skills that will help me to get, ahead of the game? And so I investigated more in terms of this nutritional genomics, which I started getting interested in while I was doing my clinical job in a hospital, working with Crohn's disease patients. And it was absolutely amazing that there were so many different people from so many different backgrounds all having this disease, but they didn't really find, still haven't found a genetic cause for this disease, but diet seems to be some environmental influence that they can't really pinpoint, but that was so interesting. And that's really where my interest started peaking, and I was looking into courses. So I ended up doing more courses on nutritional genomics, learning about genetics, and then putting all the pieces together and seeing what I could do, what I could offer. And that's how I ended up starting my private practice, started consulting with other companies, doing webinars for other healthcare professionals. And that's really how my story kind of comes together about where I am today. So I hope it gives you some background as in where I am today really was a kind of programmed by my childhood upbringing about always having to work hard, always having to strive for being better, doing better, standing out from the crowd, and really that education is your ticket that you can take with you wherever you go in the world. And now that I've now taken my business online, it's really helped me to take everything that I learned from every different job and every single person that I've met on my journey has led me to where I am today. So I hope I've given you some background on my story. I hope you find it interesting. If you do have any questions, feel free to just drop me a comment below. But I hope you'll enjoy my videos in the future. And please do like my video or subscribe to my channel and sign up to my newsletter. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.